Hey guys, my name is Joey Thomas, entrepreneur and small business educator here with 17 Hats. Now, today's topic is one that I particularly like because I enjoy talking about how to become more efficient. And as the year comes to a close, I keep looking for ways to just get better. How can we improve? Right? All the things that we do, because the one thing we can never buy more of is time. And we can always make better use of it though. So hopefully in today's video about productivity hacks for the small business owner, I can share with you some thoughts and some ideas that's gonna help you become more efficient and get more done in the time that you have. So the first and foremost, I want you to think about creating a schedule that fits your personality and lifestyle. Now, I grew up just the 9-to-5 schedule or the overnight schedule where it was standard. My mom worked nights, my dad had businesses all during the day. We just knew that once it was wake up in the morning, work, and then finish your day, and then come home and eat dinner or whatever it was, right? It was very standard. But as a creative and a small business owner, we have the advantage of creating a schedule that really fits our needs while thinking about filling our clients' needs as well. Now, do you have kids? Are you a morning person, right? Are you a night owl? Do you need to take a nap in the middle of the day? Now, of course, you have to coordinate with your clients and make sure you're meeting their needs as well, like I said. But we do have the flexibility to adjust our schedule. So first, I want you to really identify when are you the most productive. Identify that part of your day and schedule your most important task during that time. So when are you most productive? Create a schedule that fits your unique personality and lifestyle. Tip number 2, prioritize key tasks early in the day or early in your productive window, right? What I like to do is take a few minutes at the end of the day or even early in the morning to identify what those key tasks are for the day. Now, I might have 20 things on a to-do list, but there might only be 5 things that are crucial. And I need to identify what those 5 things are and move them up the list. Because even if we don't finish the whole list, this is gonna give us a feeling of accomplishment. Because doing a task list, it actually builds a lot of confidence that we can finish the list, and confidence is only built through small wins. So if we can actually prioritize our tasks, we can get those small wins early and the rest of the list won't feel so daunting. It's gonna give us the motivation we need. So make sure you prioritize those key tasks early in the day or early in the most productive time of your day. All right, tip number 3, multitask the right way. Now, I know sometimes it's like a badge of honor to call ourselves a multitasker. Sure, that sounds good on paper and it sounds great in interviews, but the reality of the matter is it's proven through research to be a less efficient way to work, and it actually lowers the quality of what we do. So here's a better way to think about multitasking. I know you want to do a lot of things at once to get it done, but let's say you have to send out a scheduling link for a client or respond to a lead. If you have to send out a questionnaire and maybe even speak to a client over the phone, all in the same hour. Now, the old way of thinking is I'm gonna be on the phone, right? I'm gonna have my Bluetooth in, I'm gonna have my scheduling out, and I'm emailing people at the same time, trying to listen to my client. I'm answering emails all at once. I miss half of what my clients say, and I probably made a mistake in one of the documents that I sent out. This is typical. Now, if that's something that you guys experience, use the comments, let me know. But a better way to do it, instead of trying to do all those things while on the phone with your client, set up some simple workflows and automations. Now, if you can use a platform like 17 Hats to send out automated lead responses and questionnaires and scheduling, you can do all of that at the same time or without having to do it while you're on the phone with the client. It's a highly efficient way to multitask, right? And it's done with a high level of quality, and it's always going to be consistent. Now, here's a thought that should help you. Think about delegating instead of multitasking. So delegating, now typically we think of delegating as delegating to another person. Now that's great. If you can delegate and you can multiply or clone yourself, that's the idea. But cloning or multiplying yourself is not only through other people, but it's through automation tools and workflows like 17 Hats. So make sure that you use everything at your disposal to multitask the right way. Number 4. Now this one I'm going to take a little extra time on because I think it's such a cool topic, right? I like how our biology and psychology really affects the way that we work. Now, tip number 4, follow your body's natural internal clock. Now, there's a great article written by Pilar Gerasimo on bluezones.com on the topic of what's called the ultradian rhythm. That's right, ultradian rhythm. In this article, she explains that the ultradian rhythms are biological patterns that are hardwired into your DNA. It's a function of your clock genes which dictate how your body functions over periods of time. These things are actually measurable, they're observable and quantifiable, right? So these are things that we can measure through instruments and know that this is a real deal thing. Now, understanding how your body works, understanding how your brain works can really help you become more productive in your day. Now, the author goes on to explain that the primary purpose of these ultradian rhythms is to manage the cycles of energy production, the output, and the recovery that occur in all humans. So let's take a quick look at a graph or a graphic that helps us to understand this. So here's what's called the ultradian performance rhythm, okay? So as you can see, our body actually goes through periods of stress and recovery and performance, right? And you can see this on this graphic on bluezones.com if you look up this article on productivity. And you can see that these natural rhythms, they happen every 90 minutes or so with a 20-minute healing response is what they call it. So it's a time in your rhythm where your body just recharges. So that recharging period is really important. One of the mistakes that we tend to make is that we end up going too long in work without taking a break. So pay attention to those rhythms. Do a little bit more research into it. Look up ultradian rhythms. It's such a cool topic. Now, tip number 5. It's simple. It's sleep. I know as creatives or as small business, you know, I've heard the term a lot, we'll sleep when you die, right? But it is something, honestly, that term is something that kind of gets under my skin because the better we take care of ourselves, the more we're able to accomplish, and the idea is to strive for excellence. So on Zapier.com, there's a great article called The Science of Sleep and Productivity by Sam Kemmis. Now, most creatives can attest to thinking that, you know, the first thing that we tend to do is we tend to just stay up late or to try to finish a project no matter how long it takes. We're going to end up sacrificing sleep. We tend to think that spending long hours on something, it just means getting more done. But science actually says the opposite. More sleep equals to more productivity. Now, how can that be, right? See, the thing that we don't see is that there is a certain lack of efficiency that we're working at when we're working long into the hours. There's more chance to make mistakes and more chance to just really be slow in how we think and how we work. That article goes on to mention a 2012 meta-analysis of 24 different studies that found significant impairments in problem solving and memory capacity in poor sleepers. Now, this also contributes to anxiety and stress. So how do we go about getting better sleep? How do we go about just improving the quality of sleep? Now, most studies show that adults need anywhere from 6 to 9 hours of sleep. We all know this. We've heard this 1,000 times. And kudos to you if you do a little study on sleep cycles. I actually use an app on my phone that calculates sleep cycles, so we wake up and sleep at certain times, and so we don't feel groggy and tired. So that's bonus, right? But you want to follow your body's natural rhythms. Now, to get better sleep, there's a few recommended tips. Like we've all heard, no screens before bed, because the blue light in screen actually tricks your mind to thinking that it's daytime, and it initiates a stress response. So you want to minimize the amount of activity or blue light that you get before sleep. There's studies also show that late night sugar and carbs can also impede sleep. I know that late night snacking is a thing, but try to snack on things like berries, raspberries, strawberries. There are certain types of things that have less carbs but still make for a great healthy snack. Now, one of my favorite apps is called Brain.fm. It's music that's specifically created to help you relax and sleep. It actually helps target certain types of brain waves that help you fall into a deeper sleep. For me, that works really great and I really enjoy it. So those are just a few tips to help you get sleep. But guys, the idea here is do whatever you can to take care of your mind and body, because ultimately we're trying to create successful, sustainable, and scalable businesses. If you're early in your small business career, you want every little bit of advantage when it comes to getting the most done, right? Because we're all about being successful. And like I said, using platforms like 17 Hats, just getting more sleep, taking care of your body, the food you put into your body, these little hacks can help you quite a bit in becoming more productive. I hope this video helped you guys out and helped stir some ideas and thoughts about how you can become more productive. And use the comments below if you have any tips or tricks that you want to share with us. We'd love to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe to the 17 Hats channel and like this video. Till next time, guys, I'll see you again soon.